Great show this morning, guys, and get ready for more Hillary Clinton emails today. They're about to be released. The last bunch has more than 4,000 pages. And brand new on this is word that the emails in the server handled information that came to and from several intelligence agencies. Good morning, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum here in America's Newsroom.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you at home. I'm Leland Vittert in for Bill Hemmer. While we wait for those emails, Democratic sources are telling Fox News the Clinton campaign is concerned they could soon face some new competition from Vice President Joe Biden. But a Clinton campaign source is now pushing back. Ed Henry is live in Miami, where Hillary Clinton will hold a campaign event later this morning. Ed, we'll get to the Biden factor in a minute. Do we expect any major revelations out of those new emails?
Well, if you listen to Hillary Clinton's critics, Leland, they say that when she deleted about 30,000 emails that she claimed were personal, any major revelations might have disappeared there. And that's why you've heard Republicans like Trey Gowdy demanding that server be turned over to either Congress or the State Department Inspector General. What we'll see today are the roughly 30,000 official emails that Hillary Clinton did turn over to the State Department. Will there be revelations? Well, for example, this covers 2009, 2010. We learned yesterday from the Wall Street Journal that Hillary Clinton had intervened on behalf of the major Swiss bank UBS in a tax case. After that intervention, all of a sudden all this money came into the Clinton Foundation, speaking fees to Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton yesterday denied wrongdoing, but you have to wonder if there'll be emails about any of those situations that could come out. We're expecting it in the middle of the day today that we'll start seeing some of these revelations, Leland.
And we know you'll be going through them. Ed, you broke the story yesterday about Joe Biden and some concerns inside the Clinton campaign about Biden possibly jumping into the race. Have you gotten any more overnight?
Well, overnight, what the Clinton camp is telling me is that, yes, there may have been a breakfast, which is what I reported on last night, between Louis Sussman, a major Democratic donor, and the chief of staff to Vice President Joe Biden. I'm told by Democratic sources that sent some tugs wagging in the Clinton camp, that maybe Joe Biden was having his aides go out there and test the waters. Could he raise the money to jump in and challenge Hillary Clinton? They're downplaying the Clinton camp today. They're telling me that they're not changing their strategy. They're not worried about Joe Biden or others getting in, because, by the way, we've been hearing whispers that maybe Secretary of State John Kerry has been reaching out to people, wondering could he get involved here as well. So I think the bottom line point is it's tied into these emails that are pouring out, more of them from the State Department today, on top of the Clinton Foundation issues that have popped up. Are there Democrats out there in the fundraising world and elsewhere saying, is Hillary Clinton really the strongest potential nominee, or should others like Joe Biden get in?
Especially as they've watched her poll numbers go down in those key states, Ed. All right, Ed Henry live in Miami. We'll get back to you as Hillary Clinton takes the stage. Thanks, Ed.
All right. Thanks, Ed. For more on this, let's go to Mike Warren, staff writer for the Weekly Standard. Mike, good morning to you.
Morning, Martha.
You think about this, and it's like, why, maybe it's a more interesting question to ask why Joe Biden wouldn't run than why he would, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Ed is exactly right that there's a lot of sort of momentum pushing back against Hillary Clinton. You've got these poll numbers that are sort of cratering, or they're at least at the top line very weak and thin for her. You look deeper into the sort of underneath those numbers, and you see that she's got problems with honesty and trustworthiness among not just American voters in general, but even Democrats. So Joe Biden has to look at this. He has to be thinking, wait a second, I've always wanted to be president. He ran in 1988. He ran in 2008. He's been a loyal soldier for Barack Obama over the last 8 years. And he's been, I think, a real force within the administration, coming out early for gay marriage, which has now become a standard position for the Democratic Party, and brokering a lot of those deals in Congress once Republicans took charge. He has to be looking at this and thinking, why not me? And I think people around him are thinking the same thing. If he wasn't doing this, I think you'd have Biden people putting the kibosh. Instead, we're hearing stories like Ed's more and more every day.
Yeah. There's been a lot of discussion. Obviously, he had a serious loss in his family with the loss of his son a month or so ago. Is there any sense that you get as to what impact that has on whether or not he's up for this?
Well, there have been stories that Beau Biden, before he died, had apparently said to the vice president that he wanted his father to run. Of course, the Biden folks are saying this is inappropriate to talk about this, that you know, this is still a family in grieving. But look, I mean, things like this, deaths in the family, this sort of very tragic incidents can have an effect on how you view yourself and your legacy. I think that has to be a big part of this. And Beau Biden was a very popular person within the Democratic Party, and Joe Biden as well. I think that there could be something to that.
Indeed he was. You know, when you look at the server issues, none of this really would have happened if Hillary Clinton hadn't sort of had this arrangement in terms of the server at home. She's got to be kicking herself about that whole thing to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Let's remember what that spin was last week when this first story came out that the IGs were making a criminal inquiry on this. The Clinton spin was that look, this is about the State Department and State Department officials. This is not a criminal inquiry into Hillary Clinton. But you're absolutely right, Martha, that none of this would be happening. We wouldn't be having these investigations. We wouldn't be having these questions about this, whether or not there was sensitive material on an unsecure server that Hillary Clinton created for herself if she had just followed the rules. I think that's important to push back as we look at this. The Clinton campaign is really pushing back against these stories even into this week and further as we get these emails that none of this would be happening if Clinton had simply followed the rules, and that doesn't need to be lost in all of our coverage of this.
Yeah, it's unmistakable that it is of their own making, and everybody has had to spend a lot of time on it as a result. Michael, thank you very much.
Thanks, Martha.